doing some stuff in Manchester. How's kind of things been settling in? How have the first couple of training sessions been, and how's it been settling into Manchester and getting ready for that first game?
Yeah, so we arrived in Manchester a few days early, which was really good. Shake that jet lag out a few days early, get some extra training sessions in, which I think are really going to set us up for the test week coming up. It's good. Manchester's a beautiful city. There's a mix of, old and new, and we were able to go and explore yesterday and the day before, have a walk around, and yeah, it's beautiful here.
Obviously, out of curiosity, it's your second World Cup doing NZ in 21. How does it feel compared to that World Cup so far, and kind of the lead up and the build up? With we've been hearing all about the ticket sales. It feels like it's going to be some big, massive crowds coming out to watch women's rugby. Does it feel real? Does it feel different compared to the previous World Cup you went to?
Well, it's a privilege to go to any World Cup, your first one, but to go to your second one is, it's an honour. And I think there's a little bit more pressure, as you go to your second one and, as it goes on. But, massive tickets being sold so far, which is absolutely amazing that, people are wanting to come and see us, and selling out, those England games are absolutely huge for us to get seen. So, well, I think we're really excited, and the pressure is there definitely, but we're leaning into it.
Yeah, we've mentioned chatting with Em a couple of times about even the comparison of how far the Wallaroos program has progressed between 2020, that previous World Cup, and now. And she's kind of has mentioned that it feels like night and day in terms of time spent together, preparation. Would that ring true to you as well from your experiences being in camp? Obviously, going through injury, but then coming back into the squad?
Yeah, 100%. I would definitely agree with that. Coming back into the squad, I feel like the connection that we have is a lot stronger than it was back then. I feel like we're more of a family now, and we're connected a lot more when we're on and off the field, which I think is a huge, huge part of being a team and playing together to achieve what we want to achieve, and that at the end of the day is winning. So, yeah.
Obviously, you're part of that Samoa, part of the Aussie squad that took on Samoa.
Yeah.
You worked at that kind of coming off the bench. How is kind of the squad approaching this particular match, this kind of first match to kick off? Because obviously it's a very tough pool that you guys are in, and every single match counts. Kind of what's the headspace that the squad is kind of looking at when looking at what Samoa brings and the challenges they bring?
Yeah. Well, being our first game of the World Cup, we want to set a platform for the rest of the world, that this is what the Wallaroos can bring to the world stage. So for us, we want to perform our absolute best. So it's no different to playing Wales or Canada or New Zealand here. We're treating it like any other game, performance-wise.
Two more from me before I'll throw over to Nathan. Obviously, the competition with props has been really, really strong. Like Blake's been coming in. Obviously, Bridie's been part of the squad. Evie, yourself. How has kind of that focus and growth around the set piece been, particularly over the last little while? I know you've been working a lot. I've had a lot of positives thrown towards Sam Needs and the work that he's been doing. How's that kind of focus and growth and competition for positions up front been in terms of your development as a player, as well as the squad in general?
Yeah, definitely. So there is quite a few of us, especially competing at that loose head position. So every training session, you're fighting for a spot in a good way. We're all very competitive. We all want that starting jersey. So it is a fight, and it can be quite tough. Playing against each other, especially against that scrums or in those maul areas. But yeah, credit to Sam and what he's done with us, especially in the front row. I can see a massive difference again from when where we were and where we are now. Especially our maul defense. Like, our maul defense is probably the best it's ever been in the last couple of years, and that's definitely a credit to him.
And then the last one, obviously you yourself have had a long way back to come back from the ACL injury, which kind of ruled you out for a little last year, and you kind of really rebounded back very, very well in 2025. Out of curiosity, what does 2025 been like for Bree-Anna, the player, Bree-Anna, the individual? How do you kind of feel in terms of your growth as a player, both as a person, both on and off the field, especially coming back from that injury that set you back a bit?
2025 has been probably one of the most challenging years coming back to the sport I love. Not only mentally but physically. Like, I'm pushing boundaries that I haven't since being injured and coming back. I'm being tested all the time. But I was extremely happy to get selected for the Pac 4 at the beginning of the year, and I just wanted to be selected. But as we go, I wanted to play, I wanted to start, and then I wanted to go to the World Cup. So for me, it was just like ticking off stepping stones as we went through the year. And the ultimate goal was obviously to come and play, get selected for the World Cup, and then the next goal is to play in the World Cup. So I'm just chipping off those little goals as we go. And it's been an incredible year as well to, as you said, for those setbacks, year injured, and then come back and go all the way to a World Cup. Sometimes I'm in awe that I'm standing here with the girls, looking back at how tough it was to get here. But yeah, it's been an amazing year so far.
Just to follow up on that, I mean, you're at 2021, I think my research says me correct, sort of didn't make the World Cup debut then. How much, having that experience for the first World Cup and not being able to field it, was really sort of motivating you to finally sort of get out there and make an impact on the field?
Yes. So yeah, I went to the World Cup in New Zealand and unfortunately didn't play at that World Cup. But now to be here, it definitely makes me hungry and want it more than anything. If I leave here not playing, then that's what it's meant to be. And I've done another World Cup where I'm helping my teammates be the absolute best they can be, or I'm on the field playing. And either way, to me, I'm here with this team and I'm growing with them as well as helping others. So for me, it's honestly just being the best player I can in any capacity.
It's an awesome perspective to have. Is that something that's grown, you've sort of refined since coming back from injuries, around just that love of the game and just being around this group once again?
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to enjoy playing rugby and being in this environment. So obviously I want to play more than anything, but if God has other plans for me in other roles, then I'm going to serve that as best as I can. So yeah, definitely.
And just a sort of final call from me, a little bit lighter away from rugby. The Labubu trend, just to go through socials, where has that come from? Where did you sort of first start getting onto that trend?
I went to Japan early this year, end of last year, and was looking at the Japanese culture where they had a lot of, knickknacks on their bags, and Pop Mart was, becoming quite big then, and Labubus were in and around. I was seeing them, and I kind of got an obsession coming back from Japan, bought some over there, and then came back and I was able to get my hands on quite a few in Australia, and I think my collection's up to like 22 Labubus, and then outside that I have like probably 40 to 50 like little plush keep pendant toys. So it costs a lot. I don't recommend it to anyone, but lucky I don't have children or other expenses, so it's, yeah, Labubus are my thing.
Love it. Is there like a particular favourite? Is there a particular most expensive one? Are you willing to sort of share that?
There are expensive ones. I've brought my absolute favourites to the World Cup because they need to be with me at all times. I have a green Labubu at the moment that I've put a little yellow jersey on, and I've coloured it in with the Wallaroos symbol on it and got World Cup 2025 on the back. So I'd probably say that one at the moment is my favourite.
That's going to come up is when we get the Wallaroos one. I guess, and also, is this something which just sort of bonded the group as well? Like, have you sort of not allowed, but as like other people sort of searching for ones in Manchester, like how's that sort of
Oh yeah.
the group away from rugby?
Yeah, definitely. I have spread my love of Labubus to the team, and I think we're up to like maybe 10 of us that are like full into searching at Pop Marts. Anytime we land into a new country or a new city, we're like, where's a Pop Mart? Where can I find Labubus? Where can I find these things? So it's definitely a little culture that's spread into the team now, and we've got them all on our bags, and it's just a little fun trend that we've got going on at the moment.
That's awesome. That's all from me. Thank you.
I'll finish off with two or three at a moment just to wrap us up. Obviously, sticking with stuff outside the other field, I know that that you're obviously close with the West team and also with the work in the army outside of Wallaroos. Have kind of any of your colleagues and and teammates kind of sent any messages of support and or even might even make the journey over to show support?
Yeah, I have an amazing workplace. As you said, I work in the army. They allow me to come over here. No leave. I'm on duty technically when I'm over here, which is absolutely awesome, getting paid by them as well. But they are a big supporter of women's rugby in general, but big supporter of me. They're tuned into all the games. Like they've got them down packed to what time they need to log onto the TV to watch. And yes, one of my sergeants that I've worked with this year, he's over in York at the moment, so he'll be over to watch us play, which is really, really awesome that a small workplace like that can really get behind you and support you. It means the absolute world.
That's awesome that you're actually also considered to be on the clock in addition while getting to play rugby as well, which is awesome. Out of curiosity, I mean, with that kind of dealing with the pressures of being on a rugby field and stuff like that, does it help to kind of actually have that background, so to speak, particularly when you're in a situation at this World Cup where there'll be more crowds, there'll be the international stage, be playing against the best in the world. Has there been talk about managing that, and is that kind of something that bringing your other experiences in can help with the team at large?
Yes, definitely. Being in the army, there's a lot of high pressure situations, of moments where you need to be calm under pressure, to think clearly, to react. Being a corporal in the army, I have to give commands to my soldiers. So for me, I have to be level-headed, I have to be calm, I have to assess the situation to be able to clearly give them orders. So definitely that's something that I take on the field, and when moments are heightened or things aren't going our way, I am able to calm and assess the situation, figure out what I kind of need to do, or maybe the team needs to do, and go from there. But yeah, definitely a lot of skills that I've transferred from the army to sport.
And then final one from me. Obviously, off the back of leaders in groups, obviously this is up to the end of this tournament, the team will be farewelling Jo as head coach. And I know that she's had a massive, big role in the transformation of the Wallaroos over the last 2 years. Is there kind of an element of really wanting to, in addition to you're obviously you don't, it's not hard to get up for these games. You're at a World Cup. It's a once in a 4-year opportunity that many players get the chance to get involved in. But the actual wanting to send Jo off in style, so to speak, particularly at home, and really put in a good performance to reflect the work that she's thrown back at the team at large. Is there an element to that as well?
Oh, 100%. I think her leaving has heightened the situation where we want to do the absolute best, go all the way for her, send her off with, winning the World Cup. That would be the absolute dream for everyone. But yeah, we want to do the absolute best for ourselves, but for her, and it's going to be very sad to see her leave, because she's definitely left this team in a much better place.
Awesome. All the best.
Thank you very much.